running with the command program. So after the presser, we'll then entertain 4 questions, which will be split into 2 sessions. So each session will have 2 questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite the Honorable Vice President, Retired General Dr. CDGN Chiwenga, and again is the Chairman of the Food and Nutrition Committee. Vice President, sir.
Master of Ceremonies, Permanent Secretary for Lands, Agriculture, Water and Rural Resettlement, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, of Lands, Agriculture, Water and Rural Resettlement, retired Air Chief Marshal Terence Shiri, Honorable Ministers here present, members of the banking community, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We thought it was necessary to give an update on the preparedness of the 2020 winter wheat program to you, members of the press, and eventually to the generality of our people, in particular our farmers. The country requires approximately 400,000 metric tons of wheat annually, and it is currently achieving above 4 metric tons per hectare, which compares well with other producing countries. The major challenge in wheat production is not productivity. The actual challenge is the continued reduction in the area under wheat production due to a number of challenges. Among these are inadequate water for irrigation and electricity supply, high input costs and late disbursement of funds, which result in late distribution of inputs to farmers under the special program on wheat, maize, and soybeans. This program is now funded by the commercial banks to address these challenges. It is against this background that the wheat production program is targeting to increase the area planted from 24,184,000 hectares achieved in 2019 to 80,000 hectares for 2020 winter season. Contract farming financed by commercial banks will target 65,000 hectares, while the private sector is expected to contract growing for 15,000 hectares. To this end, the main private sector contractors formed the Food Crop Contractors Association. The association has already started engaging with the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Water and Rural Resettlement, and Finance and Economic Development, as well as banks and financiers, in a bid to increase area under wheat production this season. The association's target is to produce high-yielding, good quality wheat on 15,000 hectares. Based on the target yield of 5,000 metric tons per hectare, 325,000 metric tons is expected from contract growing financed by the commercial banks. On the other hand, private sector contracted production is targeting an additional 90,000 metric tons at an average yield of 6 metric tons per hectare. The combined output of 415,000 metric tons is expected to surpass our national demand per year by 15,000 metric tons. We met yesterday, 2nd April 2020, with all relevant stakeholders, including financial institutions and the ministries of Lands, Agriculture, Water and Rural Resettlement, Finance and Economic Development, Energy and Power Development, Industry and Commerce, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, and the Zimbabwe Electricity Supply Authority, ZESA, in preparation for commencement of planting of 2020 winter wheat crop. We agreed on the following key success factors for the program. Pre-planting producer price. Cabinet has already approved and announced the pre-planting wheat producer price of Zimbabwe dollar 14,143 per metric ton, with the view of enticing farmers to increase the area under wheat. To ensure the price remains attractive for the achievement of this objective, the price shall be reviewed regularly in line with the changes in input prices using a cost plus 20% margin pricing policy. Uninterrupted energy supply. Further to the availability of irrigation water, the assurance of an uninterrupted supply of electricity is critical. The Ministry of Energy and Power Development and ZESA gave us the necessary assurance that barring major faults, electricity supply will be uninterrupted in wheat farming clusters for the period starting April to September 2020 and at a tariff which is 55% of commercial rates. On bonding and contracting of farmers. On bonding and contracting of farmers is already in progress, and the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Water and Rural Resettlement will expedite the process so that farmers can plant early in the optimum planting window of mid-April to the end of May. Capacity building of farmers. The mobilization and capacity building of farmers is currently underway. The dissemination of information is mainly through electronic, digital, and print media. Because of the need to avoid large physical gatherings as part of the ongoing measures to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Timeous provision of inputs. Inputs should be provided timeously to registered farmers using the GMB network of depots. Input distribution has started. The process will be expedited to enable farmers to plant in the optimum planting period mentioned earlier. All inputs required for wheat production are available locally. I thank you for your attention.